this island, in this building, through this door, down this hallway, lies the most frightening experience of your life. Prepare yourself for They Came From Within.
Hey, welcome to Another Look, a film podcast where we go back and discuss a filmmaker's body of work, from their hits to their misses, as well as genres, eras, movements, and everything in between. On this week's podcast, we are back with 2 more David Cronenberg movies. And it's me, Ian Killian.
And Jordan Mushino.
Nick Creekbaum.
Ben Riley.
So what are we doing, Ben?
We're going to talk about what we've been enjoying recently, whether it's movies, TV shows, books, whatever.
Ooh.
So.
All right.
Be a lot of books from Ben.
Okay. Well, Ben, you want to start first?
Yeah, I'm not recommending a book today. Today I am talking about, I started watching the new Netflix series Stranger Things, which I'm super into right now. I'm only 3 episodes in, so I'm not fully into the story yet, but it's definitely very cool. You can tell what that style has kind of had a resurgence, like popularity wise.
Nostalgic,
it's
80s, yeah.
Steven Spielberg-ish,
But if it's done well,
it's done well.
Yeah.
So far,
Stephen King said it's basically like everything his movies ever or his books ever were.
Like I love it, and it's 3 episodes. I mean, unless they do a complete tailspin and it sucks, which is possible, but I don't think so.
Like the TV show
Like the
Tailspin.
X-Files.
I don't know what direction they're going in, but are they doing another season or is it a one-off?
I'm not really sure if it's like limited or not.
I have no clue.
You can tell though it's very inspired by Stephen King as well, because the title sequence, like in the beginning, the Stranger Things like logo looks
like
just
Needful
like
Things or something. What's that book?
Kind of, but it just looks like a Stephen King book printed in the 80s. It's like what a lot of his books looked like. So,
Nick, what was the last thing you watched?
I watched a shitty movie in theaters called The Infiltrator, which you guys, Ian and Jordan, also watched.
I definitely agree with.
You actually gave it the highest rating out of all 3 of us.
Yeah,
and then you decided to drop that rating a half star after we saw
discussed it with you, and you changed your mind.
Yeah, because when you're in a movie theater by yourself and you notice that you're standing up almost at the exit before the movie's over, like just staring at the screen, hoping that it's going to be over, the movie is not doing something for you.
Well, I mean, Bryan Cranston's usually good, but
He was definitely fine in it.
Oh, he was great, especially in that opening scene.
Yeah.
That opening scene was pretty awesome, except I was confused by it, but it was effective.
Everything was just like so brief and not detailed.
I think it was detailed. I just think I think the details.
Too detailed.
No, I think that's
no,
no.
You're definitely wrong.
I actually agree.
You don't want procedurals. Remember?
It was
a procedural.
It was hard to follow.
I thought it was a little confusing, but I think it was just because it was so fucking brief. It was just like, we're gonna go over here for
like
this
choppy
reason and not tell these reasons.
No, I'm the opposite. It felt like a miniseries, like the beginning of like a good miniseries. I thought it goes in uninteresting directions. For like it takes on aspects that no one cares about.
The ending, I wasn't on board with the ending. I thought the ending was awful.
Yeah, me neither. But
didn't see it. I wasn't really that interested in it, honestly.
We won't go into that.
what were you watching, Jordan?
I watched the new Ghostbusters movie, and it was
make you feel good.
I rooted for it obviously because of all the unnecessary haters. They came out
unnecessary
of nowhere.
or necessary.
Well,
depends on who you ask.
Well, if you're a misogynist,
piece of shit,
racist piece of shit, I'm guessing.
Why racist?
Because did you see the Leslie Jones?
Have you heard about that?
I haven't cared enough about it to look.
Twitter actually just banned a Breitbart reporter for being racist towards her. Banned him for life. A person who,
Oh, well, I didn't see that.
Yeah, they're sending her pictures of apes.
It's fucked
on Twitter.
It's not nice
and
at all.
And she's retweeting, sharing it all.
Oh, she's calling them out.
Yeah, she's not like just hiding in the shadows.
Right.
But in general, I didn't think the movie was very effective. It obviously relied on a lot of like cheap jokes that referred to the original one. I know Kate McKinnon gets a lot of praise, but I was honestly pretty confused by her performance. She seemed I couldn't really understand her character.
I must be under a rock, but I've never even heard of her.
Saturday Night Live.
Yeah, I've never really watched her in that either.
I know everyone keeps talking about her performance, though. Like every review I read on the movie, they say how good she was in the movie, and
I like her generally, but I haven't
Me too.
seen it.
She annoyed
so.
the hell out of me in the trailer. So
Why? She doesn't even really do anything.
Is it the hat? Oh, it's probably the hat.
It's probably because you're a sexist piece of shit.
no, that isn't.
Well, you were
And
also
that is not.
I'm just kidding.
if fucking Adam Sandler was saying it, you would have been
No,
on
I haven't
rolling,
seen
any
rolling
of
on the
his
floor
recent
laughing. You'd be
movies.
fucking raw.
You guys watched the Do-Over. I didn't watch.
I did
that.
watch it, but anyway,
You were confused why Chris Hemsworth was a secretary because he's a guy.
No, I wasn't. No, I was not. I knew what they were doing. I thought that was kind of funny.
Yeah, they're
Okay.
flipping the roles.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll move on.
Although Annie Potts is no Chris Hemsworth, if you want to compare.
what do you mean by that?
Do you think Chris Hemsworth's attractive?
No, but he's a good-looking guy,
Well,
obviously.
that
course.
means he's attractive.
Well, yeah, but
I'm not asking if you're
Annie
attracted
Potts
to
is-
him.
Let's
You
skip
compare-
what we've been
Yeah.
talking about and sort of scratch the surface of Nick's repressed,
Okay.
Yeah.
repressed
Okay.
let's talk about
what
two
I've been
shitty movies.
what I've been
Oh
watching.
yeah,
motherfucker.
Yeah,
let
yeah.
Ian-
What have
Yeah.
you been watching,
What's
Ian?
he been watching?
Nick, I've been watching The Sopranos season 4.
Okay, why did your dad inspire you to do that when he used to get those movies?
Yeah,
on
we got
Blockbuster?
these
Blockbuster DVDs. We never sent them back. No, I've been watching on Amazon Prime. I just been hearing so much about it, and I've been slowly getting through it. But I'm on the last episode. I'll probably finish that later tonight.
How many seasons are there? 7
7
or
or
8.
8, something.
Forget
around there.
about it.
It's
That's
not.
the-
It's
that's
not
the
as
Long
like.
Island
It's not
guy.
as like. Like I don't want to say stereotypical, but as like generic as like I assumed it was going to be like generic mob stories.
It doesn't feel like a Scorsese movie.
No, there's moments where there's nods and stuff like that, but there's really like sick dream sequences. It's like a big character study. It's this big family that it follows, and it's not very plotty. At the end, they're tying up some plots, but it's just like hanging out with these criminals. It's pretty cool.
I've actually only ever watched the series finale, and I actually loved it.
Yeah,
With no context.
I'm
I was
exci-
just like, I have to see this.
I'm excited because it got a lot of buzz or both.
Claim.
The fact
Yeah.
that it has so many seasons kind of intimidates me in a way.
Yeah,
I would really like to watch it, but
yeah.
It's a lot
Shit.
to take on, a lot of
Yeah.
time to
Yeah.
invest.
That's definitely understandable. So Ben, what are we talking about this week?
First, we're going to start with Shivers, which is written and directed by David Cronenberg, released in 1975. It goes by multiple titles. We have They Came From Within and The Parasite Murders.
you forgot Shitters.
That's Nick's alternate title.
Oh,
But
shit.
the plot synopsis for this is the residents of a suburban high-rise apartment building are being infected by a strain of parasites that turn them into mindless, sex-crazed fiends out to infect others by the slightest sexual contact. Rotten Tomatoes score was 86%, which there actually weren't a whole lot of
Yeah.
reviews, so the score might be a little,
A little skewed.
yeah.
Oh
But
yeah.
Well, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
no,
Ben.
we're good.
Okay, so I did see that Nick looks like he has some parasites in him.
Mhm.
Did you call it the shitters because that's what you had during it?
No, I wish I did. If I had the shits during it, it would have made my experience watching it more entertaining. Because I would have at
Why?
least been
Oh,
getting up
man.
and doing something else and interactive.
All right,
But-
since we already know, since everyone can tell what your opinion is, what about it is so bad?
Because you're a horror fan. You can call yourself a horror fan, right?
And a David Cronenberg
Absolutely.
body horror fan, right?
Yeah, but the more I keep watching these movies for this podcast,
Really?
the more I realize that maybe he isn't as great as I thought he was.
Maybe I'm glad we changed you.
Because this is his first movie, and
It's his first like
Full length feature.
yeah,
film.
full length feature
yeah,
film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just was so meh, for
Okay.
lack of a better word, and the reason
be a better word.
I kind of agree with you on that.
like
Eh?
I know that it had a low budget, okay, so
Yeah.
I was trying
Yeah.
to keep that in mind.
See it for what it is.
Yeah, and see it for what it was. I thought it didn't hold. For me, the movie did not hold up at all.
Okay.
Do you guys agree or disagree?
There's definitely to me, I thought there were some awesome shots.
Okay.
Like especially in the beginning when the doctor. Okay, so we explained the plot basically. There's
Sex zombies.
sex
exactly.
zombies that are passed with these parasites, and this girl has this parasite in the beginning, and this doctor who was researching it is trying to extract them from her, and they're struggling, and he finally gets her on this table, takes off her shirt, her clothes, and so she's naked on this table, and he's naked, and he's just like this fat Canadian guy, this older guy, and he's holding like a knife above his head, and it's just shot from below, and it looks so sick. It looks like an old like slasher type of like movie poster. I mean that then it sort of lingers on that, and I thought that shot was awesome.
At that point in the movie, I had no idea where it was going to go because
I mean that's first 3 minutes,
right. I didn't. Yeah, but I'm saying like I didn't understand why he was. Of course, I didn't understand why he was doing what he was
It jumps
doing,
right in that.
Yeah.
I love that. I love it.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
It didn't build up anything or just,
Obviously, the scientific aspect that they explain is a little convoluted and confusing because he put it in her to replace
he was
an
like-
organ.
yeah.
Experimenting.
Yeah.
Because he initially wanted it to be like a life-saving thing.
Yeah.
But then
Certainly wasn't.
he sort of found out that I think the doctor knew at one point. There was like notes that he knew that it was.
I wish I knew his name. The deep voice guy.
Yeah,
the pickle lover.
the pickle guy.
Oh my god!
Yeah,
that
what-
guy was awesome.
I thought that guy was very
His
cool.
voice was
like
so
he looked like a
deep.
cool '70s like hamburger-faced actor.
The lead doctor had such a punchable face. The whole
Dr.
movie,
St. Luke.
I was so annoyed by that guy.
He
The
looked
entire
like
movie.
he looked like Josh Brolin with like a bowl cut.
Oh my god!
So
that
you
guy.
just don't like what people look like in the 70s?
No.
You don't like the styles?
That's not it. He just was. I thought he was a terrible actor.
He was,
I mean,
he's
it's low,
stiff.
low
Yeah.
budget. They probably David Cronenberg probably just got whatever actors he could find.
Yeah, he actually he did. He actually could only afford to pay a couple actors.
Yeah, he
and,
paid Dan Leiker from The Basis of Brutal Truth. He was in it.
Ivan Reitman also produced it.
Yeah.
But I honestly think
Oh yeah, I noticed that, and I
yeah,
was
it's
like,
not-
I thought that was really random, and I had
Well,
to.
and I saw Roger Corman was going to, but it.
yeah, he wanted
Yeah.
to get somebody else to direct it.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Oh,
had-
I did see that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't Ivan Reitman do the score too?
Yeah.
Oh,
I thought that was so random.
Or a music
I didn't-
supervisor at
Yeah,
least. or
because
something.
there wasn't much score in that
No.
movie.
And another funny fact is that it's at the time it was the highest grossing Canadian film,
Yeah.
which kind of blows my mind. But overall, I actually liked the movie. To me, it just as a person going into it, David Cronenberg had no idea what he was doing, and he kind of encompassed his entire
Yeah.
future career.
Yeah.
Like the whole body horror element is perfect.
Yeah.
Like the second you see the Nick character early on looking into the mirror and pushing into his stomach.
Yeah,
just
it's
like-
effective.
like
It's
textured
gross.
and
Yeah.
gross.
It's really gross. Just having something alive in you crawling is pretty disgusting.
It only cost 179,000 Canadian dollars to make.
So it's like $50 here.
Yeah.
But no, I thought it was cool that, again, he had no clue what he was doing. That's very admirable. Like, I like his influences. He said he didn't really see it as he saw it as a horror movie, but he was very influenced from like sci-fi, and he was also studying insects at the time. He was going to be like an etymologist.
Oh, okay.
And like that was a big influence on him. And he wanted like this idea of like a bad science experiment, and I that's definitely that type of thing interests me for sure.
And it's such like a Cronenberg staple.
Yeah,
like
faux
it's so
science.
early.
Yeah, for sure.
It's so influential.
Yeah.
Beyond just this, like even like movies like Slither have to. Yeah, what's that '80s movie that's like Slither? I can't remember what that is. With the same like little bugs crawling around that go inside you and like
don't
take
know.
over your
Shit.
brain. You know what I'm
I
talking
know,
about?
I know what
though?
you mean, but I can't think of what it is.
But no, I thought it was pretty good. Obviously, the low budget aspects hurt the movie, but yeah. In terms of like his approach, I thought it was really effective. He would go into scenes and focus on characters who had no idea what was going on, because he would kind of, instead of like following up with like the scientists, he would show us like the lady doing laundry and how it would affect her and the other people in the high rise. I honestly thought it was the location was excellent and very interesting, kind of like Ben Wheatley's movie.
Yeah,
This year, but
that's
better.
What it was interesting that it felt like that High Rise book from J.G. Ballard. Then he did Crash, which we
Yeah.
talked about,
Yeah.
But-
2 weeks ago.
That's where I thought it might have been going in the beginning.
And it was that was disappointing to me. It wasn't. It didn't.
So it wasn't a class commentary.
No,
It didn't
well-
feel like that, at least.
No, and but like I just the opening had like such a sense of place, and I think it lost it.
it just goes into like complete like
yeah,
batshit crazy.
It didn't
like,
have the place didn't have as much of personality as I thought it would. I thought it
No.
would be a big staple. I mean, it is a big part of that film because it talks about how the island is self-sufficient. So that's why that parasite is like
yeah.
in that high rise and that high rise.
Yeah, it has
only.
its own doctor's office.
Yeah.
It has
It's
pretty much
markets.
everything. Yeah.
And that is interesting to me, but I don't think that held up.
I honestly think that the sense of location was better than Ben Wheatley's movie.
Wow.
Yeah, without a doubt. Actually, I thought Ben Wheatley's movie.
I didn't get this.
Didn't
I want to see it.
work that well,
Yeah.
especially when it because you can. It's such a good idea to kind of like that like isolated place, but it's like an entire world in one
Yeah.
building. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, for me, I think out of the 4, I don't know how much Jordan liked it, but I think I probably liked it the most.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say it was a perfect movie by any stretch. I think it's fun. I think it's pretty nuts. Like
Yeah.
it goes from it's such a predecessor to what he does later.
Yeah.
It's like I've never seen Rabid, but like even going from The Brood to Scanners to The Fly, like Videodrome, you can just tell it's so early on of what he wants to do, like what kind of movies he wants to make with that kind of style, the body horse stuff. And I mean, it's obviously really low budget, so it doesn't always look super great, but
And like his, I mean, it's so creative
It's totally long lived
and
new
it's
Flash type stuff.
and it's
It-
creepy.
It lays the entire blueprint for his career. Yeah, I love that aspect. The fact
Yeah.
that I could see his roots in this movie was
like
pretty incredible to me.
Talking about it makes me enjoy it more, but at the time I just
The
wasn't-
experience
yeah,
wasn't at
it just
where you
didn't-
wanted it to be.
exactly.
well, it even even
can
throughout the
appreciate it.
movie, it's just going. It almost has to me like the crash problem, though. It doesn't really bother me, but it's just going like one scene. It's like the lady in the laundromat.
Mm-hmm.
She gets attacked, and then it goes to another scene, and it's someone else getting attacked. It's just kind of
I like that aspect because I think it doesn't follow the characters as much, even though it does jump around a lot.
there's so
Yeah.
many characters,
Yeah.
and you don't
Yeah.
even know who any of these people are.
Yeah, to me, the problem with the movie is it doesn't really capture the tone that he has.
Yeah,
in his
there's-
future
Yeah.
movies, it doesn't
Yeah.
feel as weird. But it has every other detail down. I
I
think.
felt like it didn't have much atmosphere in it. Did you guys?
No, I
No.
agree with that. I
Yeah.
agree with that. I thought it was a lot of fun though.
Yeah, I agree with that though.
Yeah, for me, my expectations weren't so much like, I don't know. It was what I expected, so that's maybe why I enjoyed it a little more than you guys
Mm-hmm.
did.
Yeah, I think if you look at it from a historical perspective, it's definitely a lot more interesting because you
Yeah.
can see how he developed his career
Yeah,
and
where he grew from.
where
and-
he grew from. That it was always there, basically.
Oh yeah, he's
to-
always a weird,
A weirdo.
perverted.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's cool because with something I don't want to say simple, but like from a start, some directors don't have their touch as much as like he does in this movie. Like there's still like social commentary in it.
Yeah.
There's still like this like psychology in it. It's pretty cool to see that at least.
It's just an amazing concept for a first feature.
Yeah.
It really is.
It's very
from-
ambitious.
From the budget too, does anyone else think that all those apartments looked like hotel rooms? Because I thought they all looked like hotel rooms.
There
Yeah.
was one shot that actually blew my mind, and it's one what's his name, like Dr. Saint Nick or Saint Luke or something.
Saint Nick.
It's something.
Saint Luke is the main.
Yeah. Well, when he sees the two, it even has homosexuality in it, which I thought
Yeah.
Yeah,
was
there's
really
lots of
interesting.
random stuff.
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
there.
Oh yeah. It reminded me of The Shining when he's like going through those
Yeah.
areas, and the one moment he turns around to hide in the room from the
Yeah,
two gay dudes, and
yeah.
the person behind him turns on the light with the
Yeah,
little girl.
yeah.
Oh my god, that shot was amazing.
I wrote that down. That's
Yeah.
it's the father, and he's like, "Would you like my daughter?"
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
that was really creepy.
That was so effective.
And the arms punching through the walls was cool.
yeah.
I love the end, the slow motion in the pool. I thought
yeah.
that was just it's like
The
so
overall-
many people. It was so like crazy,
Yeah.
like how from how the movie started to it like winding
it's
up
the whole
there.
building. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was
It spread
because-
throughout the entire
and
building.
they were that was so at the end when they were all coming back around.
Like when he was trying to leave.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And I noticed it was the same people from the building. Was that a fuck up or was that
No,
supposed to be
he's still in the building.
Yeah, it's a high rise. They're on an island. It's isolated.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because it was the girls in the pool.
I was thinking, man, this is so cheap. If
He
if
just
they
used the same
yeah, they
actors.
used
No, it
I mean, I wouldn't have been surprised, but
yeah. No, it was.
It
I
is
think that was on
cheap, yeah.
purpose.
the guy in the beginning, okay, the
doctor,
no, the organizer who was
like
the guy who's selling,
concierge
yeah,
guy.
yeah, those-
That's
yeah.
another. I keep going, but I have something more. To add.
Well, I was confused. Did he? Because he had a parasite in him, obviously, at the end or whatever.
Yeah.
And did he? Was he setting these people up in the beginning?
No.
He didn't know
He's
anything.
just a
have any-
realtor. Yeah, he's
Okay.
just a realtor.
But he did set up that
Right.
girl.
Yeah.
Which was sort of like, confused. I was sort of confused on like the. I hate to be that dude of like the laws of like this like monster type of thing, but like, Nick, the guy who had it in his stomach forever, was just like bedridden, going.
And he has the concerned wife. He
you
liked
know?
it though.
Yeah, after a while,
Yeah,
like
he was like.
I was,
it probably took over. Yeah.
I was a little confused, like, because some people like I felt like got it instantly, but I mean it's not a big like criticism. I'm just a little. It was a little.
It was like convenient.
Yeah,
Some stuff was
exactly.
convenient.
And like
Yeah.
the one guy, he knew he had the parasite, and he tricked that woman into coming into that room, and he was gonna have sex with her. That's fucking terrifying.
Wait, is that when he knocks on the door? That one?
Yeah. It was like the owner of the
no-
building, or like the
okay.
building manager. He like tricks the girl, I think.
Well, I know the one part. It's sort of early on, but it's the nurse that ends up being like one of the lead characters.
Who wants to?
She's like cooking dinner or whatever, and the guy that you see in like early on in the movie when he's just getting to the place, he like knocks on the door, and you just know there's like something off about him.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
Oh,
then
yeah, you can-
he
you can
assaults her, but
Yeah.
then she stabs him with the fork.
Yeah.
Which a funny thing about that is I read that the shoulder that you see that gets stabbed is actually Cronenberg's shoulder.
Oh,
and
yeah?
she actually accidentally stabbed him. She was supposed to like do it at a spot where they probably had some sort of padding,
And she
but
missed.
yeah.
I don't love the movie by any means, but I honestly think it goes in some more interesting directions than early Romero, when he could be taking zombies in places like
Yeah,
that. And
yeah.
I'm surprised it doesn't get any credit for it.
Because this is definitely a zombie movie. It's
Yeah,
just not
yeah, yeah.
that.
And it's what's scary is that they don't feel just like monsters. There's
They
like
feel
a
like
human,
real people.
human instinct,
Yeah.
there's just
Back to Cronenberg's sex.
just
So
these sex fiend maniacs.
One thing that I thought set the location up really well was the intro over the introductory credits and titles. They do basically like a
like an
commercial.
advertisement.
Yeah,
I like
and
that
thought
too.
That
That
was
was cool.
I
I
thought
like
was
that,
awesome.
but I wanted something more with it. Maybe that's my only. Because that got me excited. I felt like it's going to be like this very contained building. And maybe it's just because it was like sort of like a sort of rundown. I felt like a rundown like 70s apartment. So
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
know. Maybe that's what it was.
I think there could have been more diversity in the sets, but I think
Yeah.
that's just a budgetary constraint.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think I read something where they shot it on like 6 different apartment complexes or something for a
Yeah.
couple of. It was shot for 15 days, which is so
Yeah.
short.
2 weeks.
I mean, it's not surprising.
Yeah,
But
and then I also saw, there was the actress that was the the girlfriend of Nick. I don't remember her name off the top of my head, but she kept on saying to David Cronenberg, "I can't cry."
He would slap her in the
So
face.
he would slap her in the face, and she was
Yikes.
just like,
She was
just
great
slap-
onions, all that stuff.
Yeah, she just was doing all this behind the scenes pain to herself to get hysterical.
Plus the bathtub scene with Barbara Steele is so iconic with the
Yeah.
going
Yeah.
up into her. That's an image that gets carried over forever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It is a real shame that
I think that's in Slither. That actually the
The
exact
same shot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it is a real shame that they only had 15 days to shoot, because if they had more, then they could probably make a good fucking movie.
yeah, well, they did it with the money they had, so that was probably all the
Aw.
time they could do.
Oh,
Wow.
that sucks.
I do like the idea that I just like hearing Cronenberg talk. I've been watching interviews since we've been talking about him more, and he's so smart.
Yeah, there's a long one about Shivers on YouTube
He's
if
re-
anyone wants to check that out.
Yeah, I think this is the one. He talks about how this is like more of like a reaction to Hollywood. He wanted to make Canadian movies. Like all his friends and like peers were going to work for Hollywood, and this is sort of his like reactionary like type of like fuck Hollywood type of thing. He like still enjoys it.
He
but
didn't want to have to go to California. To
Yeah,
work
he
with,
wanted to do his own
Roger
thing.
Corman.
Yeah,
he wanted
and
to do his own thing.
and
He had
I-
a deal to direct the movie, and they tried taking it away from
Yeah,
him
and that shit's
because they knew he was new.
yeah, that shit's punk. You know, weirdo freak. So Nick, you're pouting. What do you think of the movie in total?
Out of the 4 we watched, it was probably my least favorite one.
Really?
Yep.
That's surprising. I'm not getting that vibe that you hated it that much. But
I honestly think if I look at it in terms of like its elements, I think they would align most with your taste. Obviously, you just might not be into. You can't the
That low
budget, old
Couldn't
Canadian.
get into it. It looked
the production value.
creature effects.
you didn't think they looked cool?
So bad.
I thought the one scene when the guy had that shit all over his face reminded me of like, it was gross, really gross. It reminded me of like
Yeah.
Last of Us, like those people with like coral shit on their face. I don't know.
Some of it impressed me. Some of it obviously was
Yeah, looked like turds floating in the
shoddily
bathtub.
staged, and yeah. So I have no gripes with it. It was more of like, I think he made it work overall.
So what would you? Nick,
I couldn't
what-
make any better, of course.
Well, you were not pretending to be filmmakers.
Yeah.
Well, I would
Right,
love to
but
read your
I'm
Texas
just-
Chainsaw script. But anyway, what's your what's your rating out
Do you
of
still
5?
have that?
What's my rating out of 5?
Yeah.
I'd give it a half star.
Wow.
Jeez.
So is it just because it's do you think it's just that it was old?
Nothing about it worked for me. I thought the acting was terrible. I thought it had no atmosphere. I thought the creature effects looked awful. I thought the score. Ivan Reitman should stick to writing.
Well, he probably did because I don't know if he did a lot of
Ghostbusters?
music
well,
after that.
he's whatever he was writing for this score was lame because I can't fucking remember any of it.
I can only really remember one part that even had score.
Well,
honestly.
and it just
whatever.
seemed basic.
Yeah.
hmm
And he's no Howard Shore.
Well,
So
it did
Howard
not
Shore
hold
did
up
the
for
music
me
for
at all.
Spider, though, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
yeah.
And
that was good.
The runtime of this movie was, I think, the shortest out of all.
An hour and
all-
25 minutes.
All 4, right?
Yeah.
Maybe.
And
think
it
so.
felt it. Oh my god! I cannot wait for that movie to be over.
Wow,
really
I didn't
couldn't.
feel that way.
I honestly expected the production value to look a lot cheaper.
Really.
Oh yeah, I definitely
I mean, in the
did.
beginning, I definitely was thinking, I don't know about this. But then once it started playing out, it didn't really.
I
bother
thought
me.
I
man.
thought it was going to be a lot worse.
When it
Yeah.
started, I thought, "Oh, I don't know about this," and then when it ended, I thought, "Oh man, I definitely know."
Did you
it
consider
sucked.
just acting like you watched it and then Wikipedia?
Is that what
Man,
you
if,
did?
you, if you do this for this, you're a piece of shit.
Yeah, it's not
Did you
that
do
hard.
that?
Like, no, I didn't do that.
Did you do
I
that?
watched
Well,
these.
you were confused about the end. You act
I
like,
watched both of these before everybody else did.
Good for you.
Well, I'm just
I have,
saying.
Well, 10
Good
years
for
down
you,
the
you don't have a life.
10
Huh?
years down the line, are you going to come back and admit this lie too?
No,
Yeah, this is recorded.
Yeah.
I'm not admitting anything. But
some deep secrets or something like that. He said.
the internet is a wonderful thing, and if that's all I'm saying.
What the fuck? Okay, Jordan.
I
What
could
did you
read-
think? What was your rating?
Oh, 3 out of 5.
I would give it a 2 out of 5. I believe. Yeah, I'm gonna go with that because
Yep.
I didn't talking about it. You know, is fun, but I just didn't. I
It's
wasn't
not,
into
it
Yeah.
wasn't a good experience.
It didn't
for
blow my hair back.
you. Yeah.
My point was made because I gave it a 3.5 out of 5.
Ooh, so Ben gave it a high score.
I thought it was fun.
Yeah,
It was fun. I agree. I'm on Ben's side here.
cool.
I'm definitely leaning closer to
Unfortunately, I'm
that.
on Nick's side.
But you're
Not a
not half
team-
star next side.
No,
It's
no,
not a
Nick.
team you want to be on.
Team Nick is like voting for Trump.
Yeah.
It's like the
Yep,
Philadelphia 76ers.
pretty much.
hmm
Mhm.
So let's take a little break and talk to Nick and maybe cheer him up with this next movie. All right. So Ben, what's next?
We will be discussing Spider, which was directed by David Cronenberg. It was based on a novel by Patrick McGrath, and the screenplay was also written by Patrick McGrath. Released in 2002, starring Ralph Fiennes, Miranda Richardson, and Gabriel Byrne.
Rafe.
Yeah. The plot synopsis is a mentally disturbed man takes residence in a halfway house. His mind gradually slips back into the realm created by his illness, where he replays a key part of his childhood. Rotten Tomatoes score of 85%.
Another example of Rotten Tomatoes where I shouldn't listen to it. All right, let's
We
go.
should add the average rating as well.
Okay.
I think that
'Cause
people
it is a little
misinterpret.
biased,
Yeah,
yeah.
people
Yeah, for
misinterpret
sure.
Rotten Tomatoes all the time.
Mhm.
But this movie premiered at the Cannes Film Festival,
Yeah.
I think,
And-
in
yeah.
2002.
And it won Best Canadian Film in Toronto. I think.
Oh, really?
The
At,
Toronto
like,
Film
TIFF?
Festival.
Okay.
Yeah.
Must have been a slow year.
Okay. Well, so again, right from the beginning, we know what Nick is all
Can't
about.
keep his thoughts contained.
Yeah, we know
So-
that it did come out late in the year too. I think.
Mhm.
I don't think it made that much money, but
Well, I personally, I can't say I enjoyed it because I was very hesitant to watch it. I watched it last, just because it's such a depressing topic, and it was a depressing movie. I really enjoyed the opening credits a lot. The Rorschach test with like the stains on the wall. I thought that was very cool. And the music was like this, like
It was very calm.
calming, like
wait.
folky, but like spooky feel.
they play a very popular song that I've seen in other movies.
On the credits?
Yeah, I can't remember what it is. It's
I
like a
don't know if I
classical song. It's like in Barry Lyndon or something. I feel like I'm not
really?
positive.
Another movie, Nick.
Yeah,
wants
of
to talk
course.
about.
But I liked it. You know, to me, like all Cronenberg's movies, it was super textured. But this one was in a very different way. It actually reminded me of maybe because it would be interesting because it would show like there's a shot of Ray Fiennes' character standing on one side of the road and it's like nice, and then on the left there's always like something industrial like in the view, and it seems it's almost like a mix of like Eraserhead and Barton Fink, but obviously a lot clearer,
like slimy and like industrial, grimy, dirty.
and it also story-wise has elements of like It's a Wonderful Life, you know, in the way he goes back and searches through his memories, and I'm like that's
Christmas
cool.
Carol.
I thought that was
Yeah.
Christmas Carol.
Yeah.
It's a Wonderful Life, of course, and it obviously doesn't have that cheer, but it's like
Definitely
a
doesn't have
twisted
cheer.
it's like a twisted version of those.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I thought that was awesome.
They had like these characters with like regrets or these like haunting feelings, and then reflecting back on that.
I didn't really think the opening credits reminded me of this by the way they looked, but for some reason, I don't know if you guys will agree, but it felt to me kind of how I felt during the M Butterfly credits. To me, it just didn't feel like I was about to watch a David Cronenberg movie. I don't know. Maybe it was the music too.
I really like the credits.
I was about to say I
No,
actually
they were
did like the
better.
credits.
Yeah, they were better because
Opening
I didn't
title.
really like the M Butterfly credits all that much.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
I-
I just got that vibe from
They
it.
definitely felt like they don't go by quick.
No,
You know what I mean?
They last a little bit.
They're there.
I really like it. It's
Yeah,
almost
yeah.
like
It gives you a feeling.
like a musical intro, and
Yeah,
it like
yeah.
helps build up. And
Yeah.
the second image comes on, and he gets off that train. I'm like,
You're
I can
into it.
feel it.
Yeah.
I'm like, I can feel what this movie.
What a very like physical performance too.
He barely like has any
He's
dialogue
so
at
good
all.
in it.
Yeah,
I
he
think
says
he's so good in it.
basically nothing.
See,
He whispers to himself.
What do you think, Nick?
I love him as an actor.
Yeah,
And everything I've seen him in,
Lord
for the most
Voldemort.
part, I have enjoyed him in. But I thought he missed the mark in this.
really?
Missed the mark.
I do.
Yeah.
I disagree.
Yeah.
I disagree.
He carried
I
it on
do
his
too.
shoulders.
He basically conveys so much with like just his
And
physicality.
mumbles and like hunched over and
Yeah,
like,
the way he uses his arms and hands, and
a weird
the way
sock
he
wallet.
looks.
Yeah.
Yeah, the way he just looks at
Yeah.
his mother and his father.
eyes are
and
very like intense. So what?
He's a
but-
very intense
I
actor
didn't think
in
it was.
general.
I didn't think he was a terrible
Yeah. Can you? What? You
Yeah.
just didn't sell
performance
it for you?
No, I did. Yeah, I didn't buy what he was
So
putting out there.
what do you think it needed? If you can.
I think I wanted that movie. The atmosphere was okay in the movie, but I wanted it to have. I thought it would from that opening title sequence. I completely. I went into this movie cold. I
Yeah,
didn't
yeah.
know
That's fine, yeah.
anything about it. I wanted it to have more atmosphere.
So you didn't want to plot?
No, like
Because I feel like
I
this is such a
the
heavy
twist was
atmosphere.
cool. I
Yeah,
enjoyed
yeah,
the twist
yeah.
at the end.
I think you wanted the not necessarily more atmosphere, but like a louder one, because I know that sounds kind of confusing.
More
but
stylish.
Like, yeah, because in a way, this is just so bleak.
Yeah,
It's
Yeah.
almost like
Dread.
Yeah, it's just dread and very gray. you
Yeah.
Well,
know?
typically I like that. Typically I
It's
do
like
like that.
Yeah, I know.
A grueling feeling of like because he just moves so slow and it's
Yeah, it just
Well, you said the same thing though too about Crash, like how dark that was, but at the end of the day, you still didn't care for it.
This seems so much more focused. I think.
Mhm.
than
Yeah,
Crash,
oh,
that
yeah,
it's
sure.
like-
Yeah.
I agree.
That it just it worked. To me, it worked so much better. I was very surprised because I thought it was uncharacteristic of Cronenberg in terms of style. His movies feel a lot stranger. This one doesn't feel it feels
I mean, it's
something, but
pretty
it doesn't
strange, but
yeah, it's more of like I think this one is more conventionally strange.
Okay.
In terms of I don't think it doesn't feel
like a super eccentric character.
yeah, it doesn't feel super well, obviously he's eccentric, but it's like a mental disabilities are not an out of the ordinary
It's like
thing,
rooted
you know
in
what I mean?
real life.
Yeah. That's exact. It's more grounded.
Yeah.
Well, do you guys think that because like with the ending, then I don't know. I was just thinking, was he?
Nick, you look absolutely miserable. You look absolutely. I thought I was talking to Spider. I thought I was having a conversation
He's
with
mumbling
Spider.
over
What were you
here.
saying?
I was saying that.
Sorry.
Well, his disability. So was he just born with that? Because you think that he gets the disability from seeing his mother murdered, but when with the twist at the end, when it's his fault that she died, why would his disability have been brought on by that? He must have already obviously had that.
He definitely has it. There's things that might trigger, and I think there's like this what's it called? This Oedipus complex. I think
Yeah, the mother,
yeah,
father.
I
stuff.
think something at the he gets sent to get his father at this local pub, and when that lady flashes her tit,
Was
to him,
that the same woman? Because
Yeah.
I didn't think it was Miranda Richardson, but then it is her later on.
oh, it might not have been, but
That's like
that-
also part of his
that
like
woman-
psychosis kind of stuff.
They change
actress.
faces very subtly.
yeah, that
But yeah,
woman,
like if you don't know it, you would
Yeah.
think
Yeah, you
that
have
was
to.
the
You
same
have to
person.
you have to be looking.
It's-
I
You'll
only
have no
noticed it
idea.
because I
It's so
noticed
slight.
it wasn't the same
Especially-
actress.
Yeah, that's the blonde-haired.
Yeah,
woman,
it
right?
plays his mom, and
I thought she was really good in the
his
movie.
like stepmom.
yeah, she was
Yeah.
good. Yeah,
and then she plays.
she plays both.
And then also the lady at the halfway house that he goes to when he's an
Yeah,
adult.
Right,
towards
right.
the end,
Yeah.
she manifests into that,
Yeah.
but in the beginning,
Yeah,
she's
yeah.
I
also
didn't catch
not that.
Yeah.
I didn't
Oh
catch
yeah,
that.
like
It's
he.
so slight.
Yeah, it's very subtle. So like and to me that's
That's
why
awesome.
it works.
That's great. Yeah.
Like when she even comes in with her like hair down the first time to make it more like what at the halfway house when it's near the end and she
Okay.
just opens the door and her hair's down and it's all blonde.
Yeah.
But the next time you see her, it's the same woman, but her hair's up and it's gray.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So they like show like layers,
Yeah.
kind of where because the colors are so muted in
Yeah,
general
yeah.
too that it pops in one instance to make you pay attention, so you don't miss. But yeah, the moments it just completely shatters his own reality. You know what I mean? Because he's
Yeah.
like, "What am I?"
You killed your mom. I like. It's just such a immersive, tangible feeling.
To me, it's like a conventional, twisty, psychological movie made by an incredible director.
Yeah.
You know what? Not
Yeah.
that different than something like Shutter Island's plot.
Yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah,
And it's
yeah.
just he just makes it so subtly
and
and
it's his.
Yeah.
It still feels like him. I did enjoy a flashback when he. I don't know what the setting was, so it might be when he's actually in the hospital in the psychiatric ward, and he's like maybe like out and about with two other patients, and they're just sitting around eating, and this guy talks about how he saw a woman with 3 tits,
yeah.
Oh yeah.
and then this one guy's like, well, my mom had 3 tits.
Yeah, the guy, like the bald guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
he's
then
just sitting there like poking his stick in the ground.
Yeah,
but
and-
then he has a picture, and the picture manifests into his mom.
yeah.
Yeah.
So there's
that's-
like this weird relationship.
like his notebook is just scribbles.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
that's
there's
true,
literally
yeah.
no English language. It's
Yeah.
not
But he
There-
feels compelled to write all the time.
indecipherable.
It's
Yeah.
everything is very subtle and immersive. It's such a gripping like portrait. I don't want to say this is like a portrait of mental illness because one character doesn't represent a whole.
Right.
You know what I mean? That not everyone is.
It's kind of like an unreliable narrator.
Yeah,
type.
but
Very
it's
unreliable
it's-
because
yeah.
I didn't know what was going
It's
on
very-
a lot of the time.
it's
just
very-
like he doesn't.
yeah.
I really like the whole idea of him going into what we may think are memories, and him as an adult is standing there watching himself as a child, talk to his parents or see things that his parents are doing or that he may never even saw. You know what I mean? There's
Yeah.
there are assumptions, you know, because it flashes back to his parents at a bar, and they're talking at a bar, but he wasn't there as a kid. So how is this a memory? So these are just assumed things in his head that he's creating. I thought it was very
like it's like
good.
he fabricates memories to justify what he does.
Yep. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
Or he
and
doesn't
that's
even
how
like know better.
Yeah, it's really interesting because I feel like when he has at the end when he finds out that he killed his mother, like he was responsible for it, like it's like he becomes sane because he realizes what he does.
Yeah.
Like for just that split second, he feels like the shock that we do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like he like snaps out of it almost, but
Yeah.
it's just like the most horrifying, kind of like a Bellflower on the beard.
Oh
No,
yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Well, as far as the end shot, can someone explain this to me? Maybe I just missed it a little bit. So it shows him as a kid and he's being taken to the, like after his mother's dead and he's going to the psychiatric ward, but then it flashes back and he's the adult and he's going to the psychiatric ward. Was that like, I
think that's just showing that it's a cycle for him.
Yeah.
That
He's trying to solve the same moments over and over in his head, trying to understand why and how, and they pretty much devoured.
because he got sent back to the hospital because at the halfway house he was gonna kill
because he thought it was his mom. Again.
He stole the keys.
Yep. So so he gets sent back, but then also at the same time it's flashing back of him going to and it's sort of switching in and out, and I think that's just like it's intentionally disorienting. But
I rewound it because I was
it puts us in his mindset.
Now
It was hard to follow for me.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, it takes a lot. Yeah, but it's
understand,
unreliable with the character, so you don't really know what's going on.
were you
You're
paying
constantly
attention?
questioning.
For a dunce like me, it was.
Were you paying attention?
Yeah.
If you look away from the screen, it's a look away
Yeah,
and you'll miss it type of thing.
With
And
these
those,
subtle things, you
and
would
those
miss
moments
it.
are very significant and important.
But did you feel this might be a complete contradiction to what we were just saying? But did you feel like it was a very slow burn? Because I did.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's definitely slow.
But I think it's intentional. Because
there's a lot
that
going
That guy's
on.
life is like slow moving and grueling and and painful.
Yeah, slow, not boring. Very immersive and engaging.
I don't think it was. I agree. It's a slow burn. Yeah.
You guys didn't think it was boring?
No. I was so into it.
Will you give me that pill that you guys must take every morning?
It's called paying attention.
No,
reading
not being on
that
your
movie
phone.
was fucking boring. That's what it's called.
Oh.
Okay.
Well, so what did you? So you wanted like him to like?
Did you like anything about it, Nick?
Yeah, I did. Out of the 4 movies that we watched of David Cronenberg, that was the one I liked the most.
It was so atmospheric and like it was effective just like his other movies. It's this like this basic. I don't want to say basic plot, but this like
It's very simple.
the simple plot, but with this heavy emotion, this heavy atmosphere coming from his characters and like settings.
Yeah, it does a callback to it's not what it's about, it's how it's about.
Yep,
it, you know what I
exactly.
mean?
I also really enjoyed. At first, I was like, what's going on? But I really enjoyed you not really knowing the period, the time setting.
Right.
So he gets off the train. It's like around the 80s, maybe.
Oh wow, I didn't even think of that.
And that's
Yeah,
a
I
normal.
didn't think it was
And
that
I
then,
couldn't really grasp a time
but
frame.
I think that was on purpose because like his
Yeah.
head is just maybe stuck in that time period of when he was a kid. Because the halfway house he was staying at looked like this rundown like 50s, early 50s like
Well, like the
bombed out home.
Yeah, his head must be stuck up his own ass, just like Cronenberg's when he was making this fucking movie.
I'm glad you're really respectful of characters with mental illnesses, Nick.
I am.
Do you think it was pretentious?
What?
Are you saying it was pretentious?
I don't know what it was. All I know it was fucking boring, and I'm glad I don't have to watch it anymore.
Well, what I say, like even with us just talking about it, like it's definitely one of those movies that, like when you're watching it, it's how it plays out, and then when it's finally over and you have the entire picture. To me, that's when I was like, I did enjoy it because it was.
It paid off.
It paid off.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
awesome. That's a good feeling.
Its moments are super.
Because I wasn't super sure as I was watching it if I was gonna like it or not. But the more
It's almost like you kind of just to me it's like the way you describe your enjoyment of like Mulholland Drive. It's like you don't know what's going on,
Exactly.
but you're emotionally engaged. the entire time.
Yeah.
See,
Things
I
matter.
agree with you. I agree with you on what you said about Mulholland Drive, but
Of course,
I
it's
w-
not as weird or strange as that. I'm not saying that at all.
but I wasn't like I like the twist and how the movie paid off, and that's probably what put the movie over the 3 others that we reviewed for me personally. But I didn't know what was going on at all the whole time. For
If
the most
you
part.
like, did you feel
I
like
need
you
to
missed?
watch it again,
Did
I
you
think.
miss the
Oh, yeah.
faces?
Yeah.
Because that if you miss those, it's
Right.
It's
Yeah.
nothing. You know what I mean?
When
It's
you
a
guys-
it's a tone poem or whatever they call
yeah,
it.
Yeah, yeah. Also, like, this as we're talking about it, it may not like sound like a Cronenberg body horror, but the typical what you assume. But it has all has all of his checklists like sex, violence,
Identity.
psychology, identity.
I definitely got a Cronenberg vibe from the psychology
yeah.
part about it.
Yeah.
And why do you think, why was his nickname Spider? Because his real name was Dennis.
As a kid,
His mom was telling him that story about the spider eggs, and in the beginning.
oh, okay.
Okay.
And she
I just
said
thought it felt kind of random.
when he
but-
brushes her hair, like
Yeah,
they're
like
sitting
when
on
they're
at
at
the
the table.
at the kitchen table, and the father's not home, and they're having this like this touching moment together, and she's telling him a story about spider eggs, and she's like, you can tell that it wasn't the first time she told this to him. And because she mentions like, oh, this is your favorite part, and then he's
Like
like brushing her
soothing him.
hair, yeah.
Yeah, he's so wrecked because
Yeah.
she would stand up for him.
And that kid is really good.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I thought he was believable that he would
Yeah.
grow up to be Ray Fiennes. Sometimes they
Yeah.
don't do that so
Yeah.
well in movies. Like kid actors don't look like the adults at all. But I thought he could have been.
I just love when you can the aspect of the movie where you just watch him going back and watching his own memories. You know what I mean? And kind of reworking those.
It's so strong.
Well, the
It's
the first time he looked like when he's looking into the window or
Uh-huh.
whatever, I think that's like the first time you see him like in his memories, and that was when at first I was like, is he a peeping Tom? Like I was a little confused what was going
I can
on.
see why that would be.
That's definitely. I think that's cool. Yeah.
Once they were ignoring him and stuff, I was like, oh, he's
Yeah.
you
observing.
have to, you know, if they pointed that out, it would lose its,
Yeah.
lose its.
like if it did like a
atmosphere.
whoosh and like a wavy thing on the screen.
Yeah,
like,
Well, 'cause
long
it's like-
dissolve.
yeah.
It's like the time, like we were saying about you couldn't tell the time period. Like maybe if he seemed really out of place in this time period, it would have been more noticeable.
Yeah.
But it didn't really feel like a certain time. Like
It
he
intentionally
fit in.
Yeah,
with
it
where he
intentionally
was.
blurs the line between reality and his memory.
And that dude wears a lot of shirts.
Yeah. yeah. And I another thing that this movie reminded me of, it just reminded me of I don't assume David Cronenberg movies have like a they're not like great looking, they're very like straightforward, they're not very like super stylish or over stylized. But man, there's some great shots again in this movie that I was like, wow. Of him like laying in the tub.
That water was nasty
Oh, it's
too.
the-
It was
yeah.
like brown before
Yeah.
he even got in it.
And it was just all these movies I think had really good cinematography, and I guess I took Cronenberg movies for granted for not.
The visual style.
Yeah.
To me,
I
I
agree.
think like it feels like it feels to me like a movie that would be made by an exciting new director. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like
yeah.
it's like the first feature of
it's, like,
somebody that's going to be
simple
awesome.
like
yeah,
simple
simple, well
story.
told,
Yeah,
super engaging and atmospheric.
I mean, it's funny you said that. Is this one like his first movies when he hits like the psychology stuff?
Well, Crash kind of.
Okay, that's true because
Oh, but Crash is still very body horror.
yeah, because
Yeah.
it's like that's like the transition period still.
Existence is after Crash, I believe.
Yeah,
Yeah,
And
99,
that's still
I think.
Yeah.
got the
body
body
horror.
horror.
So like like after this he gets into a Dangerous Method, which is
His-
all Freudian stuff.
His
Love
next
that.
movie is
His-
A History of Violence.
History of Violence.
Yeah, so,
And then Eastern Promises.
yeah.
Are you
so-
guys surprised that this movie lost money? 'Cause I'm
No,
not.
no, because
I read they deferred a lot of their salaries to make
yeah.
this.
Yeah,
Very low, but this was even pretty low budget. Not by Shivers standards, but
Yeah.
Well, it opened up the same week as Ben's favorite movie of all time, The Lord of the Rings: The Two Towers.
Oh,
that one's not my favorite, Fellowship of the Rings.
Oh,
but Two Towers is good. Maybe
I need to
that'd be a
rewatch
good.
those.
That'd be a good.
Peter Jackson,
Who.
Heavenly Creatures.
We could do.
Meet the Feebles.
Well, I say we just do this.
Frighteners. I love that movie.
I just say we'll count the Lord of the Rings trilogy as one movie, the Hobbit trilogy as one movie,
Fuck.
and then the
Nick's got a lot of
the Gore
hours
movies as
to-
one movie.
Guess
So-
what? That's when I pull up Wikipedia.
Well, you've seen these movies.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Or not the Hobbit
I
movie.
haven't
You
seen
watched the
any of the
Hobbit
Hobbit.
trailer about 23 times.
When?
We
We
did
put
that.
it, when we had that screening and we just repeated the trailer.
Oh, yeah, I
my
remember
God.
that.
You were screaming mad.
Fuck that movie and fuck that trailer.
So let's get back to Spider. So Nick, what is your
2.5 out of 5.
Okay.
Okay? What about you, Jordan?
3.5 out of 5.
I'm gonna give it a 4. I really enjoyed it.
4 out of 5.
Yep. You know why?
I'm close to it. It's not that
I
far fetched.
Like that means you loved it, in my opinion.
No, I think a
doesn't mean
5
anything.
means
No,
you
I
love
mean
it.
5 is like one of your favorite movies of all time.
Oh, see, we have different scales.
Yeah. It doesn't. It's meaningless.
So, but I just really enjoy it. As
I
much
give-
as I could enjoy it, I just thought it was really good. I thought it was such a strong movie.
I might. Yeah, I'm leaning closer to a 4, but I think
It was a
3.5.
surprise.
I probably
Like,
have to see
It's
more.
a movie that I wanted to see for a while, but I was like, I just never caught it. But I don't know. I really enjoyed
Mhm.
I would give it a 3 out of 5.
it. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely understand all that. I'm glad.
No, a 3 to me is good.
Yeah,
3 is on like pretty much the lowest to me of what I would like.
Yes.
Now, would you
That's
ever?
me
Would you
too.
watch it
To
again?
me too, but there
Yeah.
are movies I don't.
I mean,
like
I don't
that
know if
get
I
through.
would. It's not like a movie I would just sit and put on.
Yeah.
I would have to be in the mood for
Yeah.
it, but I would. Yeah, I would watch it again.
I'd give it another shot because of what we just talked about, and it. And
I think you should. I think you would like it.
I think we noticed a pattern with you, Nick, where it's good for you to rewatch movies.
yeah, it is.
I definitely think you should probably turn your phone off. Maybe.
I did have my phone off actually that whole movie.
Huh.
Did you have your head up?
Yeah,
Interesting.
I had my head up and my eyes were open.
Yeah. How are your
surprisingly.
eyelids?
Yeah, my eyelids
When your head was
were-
up, was it looking at the bathroom mirror?
No.
All right. So let's compare. Where would any of these movies that we watched this past month be on your list, Nick?
Of like David Cronenberg movies?
Yeah.
in
Yeah,
general?
David
Yep,
Cronenberg
yep.
movies.
Well, my favorite David Cronenberg movie is Videodrome, followed by The Fly, and Shivers would not even fucking hold a candle to them.
So I shouldn't even waste my breath asking you this
So,
question.
do you think Shivers is the worst David Cronenberg movie you've ever seen?
Do you think David Cronenberg's a bad director now?
I think Shivers may be one of the worst movies I've ever seen.
Oh,
Wow.
man, wow.
Definitely
What?
disagree with you, but
Yeah. I had more fun watching Dirty Grandpa than I did watching
Well,
Shivers.
no duh. I mean, that's just like
Maps to the Stars was
mindless
great.
garbage. But
Cosmopolis
I don't
was...
care which ones you. I don't
See-
I don't
see,
want
the
you to
fact
list
that
all
he-
of them for me.
Okay.
just comparing to where
It's
so
his
the-
anticipation because Cosmopolis does not have a lot going on.
I
Dead
saw it
Ringers.
once and I don't remember much of it. So
Dead Ringers.
Love Dead
I like
I
Dead
never.
Ringers.
I let.
Ian pulled a me during M Butterfly and Crash and fell asleep.
I was at your house. We were watching it at your house, and I let you borrow a hammer or something like that.
Yeah.
And I just fell
Fell
asleep.
asleep during Dead Ringers.
So these 4 that we watched
Bottom-
would
the
not
bottom tier.
even like
Um,
come close
you
to
know
some
what?
of them.
I'm not big on Scanners, and I'm not big on The Brood.
Ooh,
I would
disagree there.
I would put Scanners in The Brood over all 4 of those though.
Okay.
That we
All right.
discussed.
Do you like Scanners more than The Fury?
No, I don't. I'm not big on Scanners.
So
I've never seen Existence.
Well, for me, just going off of that,
Yeah.
Scanners is probably my favorite David Cronenberg movie. But as far as these 4 that we watched, I definitely don't think they're top tier so much. I mean, Shivers was fun. I enjoyed it, but I wouldn't have put that in like my top 5 or so of his.
Yeah, I think Shivers is more of a movie that hardcore David Cronenberg movies need to seek out, and it'll be rewarding for them. But
Yeah.
maybe not anybody. Maybe
It's not like
much
the
else.
best made movie out of any of his
Yeah.
movies, but it's just, it is what it is, in my opinion. But
Ben loves the Dead Zone.
I actually don't.
I think Dead Zone's
I like
cool.
that. Yeah,
I don't
that's a good
know.
Movie.
I forgot.
I forgot about that too.
Dead Zone's all right. As far as Stephen King adaptations, it's not one of my favorites, but it's fine.
What a weird director to adapt Stephen King.
Yeah.
I think.
I think
But-
it's kind of a weird
yeah.
or Stephen King story for him
Yeah,
to adapt as
yeah.
well, but
With me, I don't know. I'm really bad at this. I enjoyed most of them, for the most part. They were surprising to me. But I do like History of Violence a hell of a lot. I do love. I think Videodrome, Eastern Promises, and History of Violence are like in my top 3 maybe. But then there's The Fly. He's done so
He
many.
has so many. He has a lot of good movies. We've just been scratching the not known ones.
Has anybody here seen Naked Lunch?
I have.
Oh yeah.
That one's a hard one. I love it, but I don't fully understand it at the same time.
I'd say that's
that's one
middle
that
to low tier for me.
Yeah.
I feel
Really?
like that'd be low on mine if
I would
ever
say
saw it.
I would say middle, but I think
I don't know.
it's one you'd need to rewatch to get
low
some
tier
stuff out
sounds
of
kind
it.
of harsh, but I like all
they're
of his
all
movies.
good. Yeah. When you like all of them, these are the middle, basically the middle for me.
I agree.
They're just
Mid to
middle. I
low.
think Spider is up there, but like still, out of all the ones, I mean, this one's not like an enjoyable flick where I'm just gonna let's pop in Spider, guys. On
What'd
a
you
date.
think of Maps to the Stars?
I didn't see that.
Also
like
didn't
that a
see
lot.
it.
I like that a lot too. I don't know if I would consider that top tier Cronenberg either. I'd probably go with like these 4 we watched. I wouldn't be like when I'm talking about David Cronenberg, this is not what I would not bring these up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I
To-
would, to me,
I'd bring up Crash, possibly.
I think Crash is in my opinion, Crash was the worst out of the 4 we watched.
I agree.
I think I'd bring Crash up in the conversation just because of how extreme.
Yeah,
But-
you get to say it's about people who have.
Yeah, but then you say,
car
"Oh, I
crash.
didn't like it, and I didn't barely even watch it."
Why the
No,
hell should I
I-
care
why
about
should I
any of
care
this?
about
I watched
it?
that more than the other 3 because I saw it twice.
Give me a break.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah. Whatever.
We're just falling
But
apart on this.
dangerous. You know what? This is gonna make me sound like an even bigger idiot than I already have.
Okay.
I am never gonna see a Dangerous Method again.
That's fine.
You didn't see
And-
it the first time.
No, but I'm gonna. No, but you know what? Even the little amount that I saw, I'm gonna put that right beside Shivers as one of the
That's
worst
such
movies
an
I've ever
over-exaggeration.
So they're in the
seen.
Nick shit bin.
Yeah, that was one of the fucking worst things I have ever
Oh,
seen, and
man.
it was only
I
1
bet
hour
you
and 40
you have
minutes.
no
I
reason
don't
to
give a
explain.
shit. It was so fucking boring.
Hey, who's it about?
Who? Freud.
Okay, I just a little test.
Yeah.
Well, he's reading the Wikipedia
Don't
right now.
get
That's
me-
why.
Well, it's more like
Don't get me fucking started
Carl
on that
Jung.
movie.
All right, we won't get you started.
Please
Okay.
don't get me
Top-
started.
top
Okay,
tier
everyone's
Cronenberg.
already probably asleep.
To
Oh,
me,
man.
I favor the. I actually really like the direction he's going, and I love Maps of the Stars. I would need to see it again to really be able, because I love how he can tackle celebrity
Yeah.
in the context of his style is kind of extraordinary. But to me, I always really love the body horror stuff because I love Videodrome, I love Scanners, I love Existence.
Yeah.
It's
Existence
like
is good.
it's like Inception before Inception, and it handles that really well. And I would definitely have to throw in one of the either History of Violence or Eastern Promises. I haven't seen Eastern Promises
Eastern
in
Promises
quite a while, but
because
I,
you see Vigo's wiener in it.
yeah, I just
that's up there for me.
When you get to-
Eragon's sword.
You know what?
I
made-
think Vigo is tremendous.
Oh,
actor,
they work so well together too.
and it's funny because he's such a he seems so timid in real life.
Yeah.
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Like,
He's bashful. He's a
Yeah,
little,
yeah,
little
yeah.
bashful
And
guy.
back to I haven't seen Eastern Promises, but also Vigo and A History of Violence too. I've only I missed out on A History of Violence. It took me a while to see it. I saw it about 5 months ago or so, and I loved that.
Yeah, it's so good.
I was really into that.
It's so awesome.
I don't think a movie can shock you more with its violence. It seems so
Yeah.
out of the
And-
blue. You know what I mean? Just
And it's such like a cool like pulpy subject, and he makes it his own too.
Yeah.
You know, like it has all these different genre elements that just work for. and
Yeah.
it feels like a Cronenberg movie.
And Vigo gives Maria Bello oral sex on the stairs.
This is
very awkward
yeah.
sex.
Yes.
This
Yeah.
is like a perfect
Joey.
this is a perfect director for us because we can talk about wieners and boobies and sex. So
But next time we're going to talk about who, Nick?
The man, the legend, John Carpenter, my favorite
Master
director.
of horror.
Yes, the master of horror, my favorite director of all time.
Why is he the master of horror?
We'll get into it. Don't
His-
worry.
so
Do
which ones
people-
are we doing?
Do people
He
generally-
calls himself. That's his
That's
like
what he call-
tag.
Next
I'm
next episode, we're going to be discussing Halloween and Memoirs of an Invisible Man.
I have never seen Memoirs, and I've only seen like Halloween like on AMC during Halloween. So that's
Every
why
year of
Nick-
my life.
Shock
That's why Nick-
Bullshit.
No, I swear to God, I've only seen it on AMC.
Well, guess what, buddy?
He's in for a real